Welcome to the session. We are going to study chapter 4 Judiciary System, and this is the part 3rd of this session. And in this session we will discuss protest against dowry death, Sudha Goyal case in Supreme Court, legal system, access to the courts, public interest litigation, Article 21 and conclusion. So these points we are going to discuss. Earlier we have seen that Sudha Goyal case was in trial court. In trial court, Lakshman Kumar was convicted as criminal and he sentenced the death punishment. Afterward he appealed in High Court, but he defended himself and he acquitted. Now afterward, when Sudha Goyal was not getting justice, so in such case, in 1980s, women's group across the country spoke out against dowry death. They protested against the failure of courts to bring these cases to justice. And the above High Court judgment deeply troubled women, and that's why they held demonstration and filed a separate appeal against this High Court decision in the Supreme Court. And this was done through the Indian Federation of Women Lawyers. So this was the federation who filed case against the judgment of the High Court verdict. High Court judgment. Indian Federation of Women Lawyers had filed appeal in the Supreme Court. Now Sudha Goyal case is in Supreme Court. In 1985, the Supreme Court heard this appeal against the acquittal of Lakshman and the two members, that is member of his family, that is Shakuntala and Subhash Chandra. The Supreme Court heard both parties, heard the arguments of the lawyers and reached a decision that was different from that of the High Court. And they found Lakshman and his mother found guilty, but acquitted the brother-in-law because there were no sufficient evidences against him to find him guilty. And that's why two of them accused sent to prison for life. And in this way, Sudha Goyal got justice in the Supreme Court. Here we try to understand the legal system existed in India. There are two branches of the legal system in India: criminal law and civil law. So what is the difference between criminal law and civil law? So difference is that criminal law deals with conduct or acts that law defines as offenses. For example, theft, harassing a woman for dowry or murder, etc. So these are the examples of criminal law. And civil law states that it deals with any harm or injury to rights of the individual. The fundamental rights are given by the Constitution, and these rights are violated or injured to rights of the individual. In such case, this matter goes to in civil law. For example, dispute to sell land, property, sale of goods, rent matters, divorce matters, etc. Such type of cases are to be laws or registered in civil law. So this is the difference. Again, second, it usually begins with FIR, first information report. In this case, the first they have to lodge the FIR, first information report, in the police station, and police will investigate the crime, after which a case is filed in the court. And in civil law, a petition to be filed before the relevant court by the affected party only In a rent matter, either the landlord or a tenant can file a case. So this is the difference. Third difference is guilty can be sent to jail. The accused can be sent to jail and also fined. But in civil law, the court gives the specific relief asked for. For instance, if there is a case between a landlord and a tenant, the court can order the flat to be vacated and pending rent to be paid. In such case, that is the difference between criminal law and civil law. So this was the legal system. This is the legal system in India. We have question, does everyone have access to the court? In principle, in basic, all citizens of India can access the courts in this country. This implies that every citizen has a right to justice through the courts. They are eligible to get justice. They are eligible to access the courts. And courts protect our fundamental rights. This is the responsibility of the judiciary system. But if any citizen believes that their rights are being violated, then they can approach the court for justice to be done. While the courts are available for all, in reality, access to courts has always been difficult for common people, for a vast majority of the people, because these people are poor, and legal procedure involve money, paperwork, and it consumes too much time. And that's why for a poor person who cannot read and whose family depend on a daily wage, the idea of going to court to get justice often seems remote. So it is very difficult because it required money, it required paperwork, and it required time. So in this way, to get justice, it is very difficult for the common people in India. Now, in response to this, the Supreme Court in the early 1980s devised a mechanism of public interest litigation, that is a PIL, to increase access to justice, and it allowed any individual or organization to file a PIL in high courts or in Supreme Courts. And this PIL is too simple. It is greatly simplified or even a letter or telegram addressed to the Supreme Court as a PIL. In the early years, PIL was used to secure justice on a large number of issues, such as rescuing bonded laborers from inhuman work conditions and securing the release of prisoners in Bihar who had been kept in jail even after their punishment term was complete. And do you know that children now receive in government and government aided schools, that is midday meal scheme, because of it is also started because of PIL, public interest litigation. Next point is Article 21. Article 21 in Constitution says that for the common person, access to courts is access to justice. If common person is going to courts, means he is getting justice. And Article 21 of the Constitution on the right to life include the right to food also, and that's why state government are ordered to take a certain steps to provide food for all, including the midday meal scheme, because right to food, that is right to life, is the fundamental right, and food is also included. If any person is getting to die without in absence of food or scarcity of food, so in such case he has been denied his right to life. And that's why state government give specific directions to the state government to take certain steps to provide food to the common people, so that they can be survive or they can get their right to life. However, there are certain recent also court judgments that people believe work against the best interest of the common person. For example, recent judgments tend to view the slum dwellers as an encroacher in the city, and earlier judgments that had tried to protect the livelihood of slum dwellers, and there is a contradictory decisions given by the court, and courts take to hear a case long number of years. Another drawback of the judicial system is that it consumes too much time. It take to hear a case long number of years, and that's why it is stated that justice delayed is justice denied. So this is the appropriate maxim said by the common people. In conclusion, we can say that judicial system is very important. It plays major role in democratic India to give better shape to the democratic country. Two, it check on powers of the executive and legislative and protect the fundamental rights of the citizens. It protects the basic rights, basic structure of the constitution, and independent judicial system is a key feature of our country. In this way, this lesson we conclude here. That's all from me. Thank you.